as I'm going to bring forth the word, it was something that I felt that was needed to be heard. And I'm sure many of you will receive this word and there will be a change or a transformation in your life. My reading is taken from 1 Timothy 4, chapter 4, verse 15. And it says, "Give your complete attention to these matters. Throw yourself into your tasks so everyone will see your progress." And verse 15 is simply saying, work hard. Paul is saying, invest in yourself. So completely, throw yourself completely in what God called you to do, that you may grow and become undeniable. Can you believe it? Imagine if you become a person where people always want to connect with you. Give yourself wholly to Him. This means your entire heart, your entire being is important to be with the Lord. You don't have to prove that you arrived. Let people see how you are growing and what you can offer. There's sometimes something that's different about this person. That's what they start saying, and that's what they start seeing. In 1 Timothy 4 verse 15, this scripture is about intentional personal development. And many of us don't look at it. But today, I want to call that out today, that it is about personal development. Paul is teaching Timothy that growth should be visible. Many of us think that we should go hide ourselves away so people don't see us. But if you're not visible in the positive light, you're never going to be noticed. And it's important for you to always excel. Now, I'm not saying go put yourself out there with not showing any growth or any progress in your life. So don't just tell people what God is going to do through you. Let them see what God is developing in you. If you look at myself, 3 years in the ministry, from where I was to where I am now, there's a visible shift in everything that I'm doing. And that's all because people need to see what God is doing in me and how He's stretching me and where He's taking me. If I show growth and the church shows growth, every single person that's connected to us will also show growth, will also show progress, and there will be a shift in the way we think. The goal is to become a better version of yourself. And that's what we are striving for, and that's what we're driving. I know I was talking to one of my friends today, and we were talking about people who spend money like how we would spend a couple of rands. And the whole conversation went around and we spoke about, it's not that we don't have, it depends on the environment we place ourselves. If we want to place ourselves in an environment that doesn't grow, that always complains and always is negative and die without a purpose and without a legacy that will be left behind, then you'll meet those people, you live in that circle, and you'll always see life in a negative light. But if your circle is in the right place, in the right ground, with people that want to excel and succeed and grow, you will automatically see that, because your environment will dictate your progress. And it's important for you to understand. As we go into the word, there comes a point in your life when you have to stop asking, who is going to help me? How many of us sometimes get up in the night and say, I wonder who's going to help me? What is going to happen to me? I wish somebody can come my way. I wish somebody can bless me with this. But we need to start asking ourselves, what am I doing to build myself? And that a lot of people shy away from that, because guess what? That means that you must get out of your comfort zone, place yourself in another environment, and also to get into a place where you have to start actioning and doing. People don't like to action. They just like to receive, because nobody can build your life for you. People can encourage you. People can open doors for you. People can teach you. People can pray for you, but people can give you opportunities. But you have to be the one that does the building. If I introduce you to a contact and say, that person is definitely the person that you're going to deal with, you're going to do lots of business with them. If you sit back, you shake hands and you do nothing, guess what's going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. But yet the potential, the opportunity was there. And because you did not step into it, because you don't want to do, you lose it. God can give you the vision, but you have to develop the capacity to carry it. Many of us want a vision, but we don't want to develop the capacity. God can give you the opportunity, but you have to prepare yourself for it. God can give you the promise, but you have to become the person capable of stewarding the promise. The Lord placed the church in my hands. He's not going to come and do the work for me. Yes, the Holy Spirit will guide me. The Lord will give me a word, but I still have to do the work. I can't just pitch up here and say, oh, the Lord gave me a word and just talk. I'm a person where if the Lord gives me something, I go do preparation, I go and research. And when I come to this forum, I'm coming led by the Holy Spirit, prayed up, totally committed and prepared to deliver the message. You cannot keep praying for a bigger life while refusing to become a bigger person, because you will not step into your purpose. You will not step into the opportunity that God has prepared for you. The title of my message today is Upgrade Yourself. Invest in you, transform your life. Many people want better jobs. They want better businesses. They want to change their career. They want more money. They want. But guess what happens? They don't upgrade themselves. Some people are saying, can you see where this world is going? We need to shift. We need to align. We need to change the way we do business. But guess what happens? You don't study where this world is going. Technology is taking over. And if we are not aligning ourselves with the technology that's taking place now, we become redundant. But yet we're praying, Lord, upgrade me, upgrade me. You're going to go for jobs just now. They're not going to ask you, what did you do 20 years from now? They're going to ask you, can you use certain tools that is offered now in technology? Your answer is going to say, no, I can use Excel. They'll say Excel is the thing of the past. But can you do X, Y, Z? You're going to become redundant. So today, upgrade yourself, because it's important to have a life where you're constantly upgrading and do not become redundant. The first part of our message is going to be talking about stop waiting and start building. One of the greatest dangers in life is becoming comfortable waiting for something to happen. I will start when I have money. I will start when somebody helps me. I will start when I feel ready. I will start when things get better. But this is the truth. You don't become ready and then start. You start and the process makes you ready. Because if you don't start, guess what happens? You stay in the same place waiting for somebody to come help you. But I can tell you now, when you step forward, it's happened to me and it's happening to me every single day. If you don't step forward, the process doesn't start. And you will never be ready. And as you face obstacles or challenges, it stretches you, it grows you, it forces you to research other things and to step out of your comfort zone. Nehemiah is a powerful example. When Nehemiah heard that Jerusalem's walls was broken down, he didn't just complain about the condition. He prayed, he planned, he approached the king, he gathered resources, and then he went to Jerusalem and built the wall, and it didn't build itself. That sounds like a business plan. You pray about it first, you plan for it, you go and look for the resources, who's going to invest in your life or in your business, you gather the resources together and you start the work. That's a typical blueprint of what you want to do in your life. So Nehemiah had to put his hands to the work before it started. Some people are waiting for God to do what God has already empowered them to do. And that's where we dress up procrastination and laziness to say, I'm waiting upon the Lord. He's going to do something for me. You're praying, but God changed my life already. And then God is saying, but change your habits before I can help you. You are saying, God, give me another opportunity. God is saying, prepare yourself for the opportunity you already have. He can never prepare you. You're the only one that can prepare yourself. He'll bring the opportunities, but you are responsible to prepare yourself. You are asking for a breakthrough while refusing to build the capacity necessary to sustain it. Imagine God comes and lays on the plate. Here's your opportunity. First of all, you don't know where to get the items. First of all, you don't even know what certain abbreviations mean. The next thing, you don't know which market you should go into. It's because you did not prepare and have the right capacity to deliver the opportunity that God has given you. So you got to stop waiting for your life to change and start building the life you need. And I'm going to repeat that. Stop waiting for your life to change. Start building the life you need. And building only comes through action. So start building the life that you always wanted, because nobody else is going to build it for you but yourself. Build your mind. Romans 12 verse 2 says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It doesn't say be transformed by what your friend or family tell you. It says by the renewing of your mind, not somebody else's mind. The greatest building project isn't your house. It is your mind. That's your greatest building project. It isn't your business. It isn't your career. It is your mind, because your life will really rise above the level of your thinking. So if your level is at level 2, you will remain at level 2. Maybe you'll even get to level 1. But if you want to get to the highest level set at 10, for example, you got to raise the way you think. Your mind is where you start building the levels. If you constantly think, I can't, I'll never make it, people like me don't succeed, it's too late, I've failed too many times, then before your circumstances stops you, your thinking will stop you. It won't be your circumstances. In Proverbs 23 verse 7, it teaches us that a person thinks, whatever the person thinks in his heart, so they become. You have to start changing the conversation inside your head. Instead of saying, I can't, you start saying, I can learn. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, you start saying, I am developing. Instead of saying, I failed, start saying, I've learned from this. If you say it is too late, you need to say, I still have something to build. You got to shift the way you speak, because your words have power, because there is power in the tongue. So be careful what you confess in your life. Your past is your information. It is not your identity. Your failure is an experience. It is not your destiny. Your mistakes are your lessons. They don't have to become your address. But many people make it their address. And that's why they stay stuck in what somebody told them 10 years ago, or what happened to them 10 years ago, 15 years, etc. You got to build your character. Talent can open doors, but character determines whether you stay in the room. And that's very important for you to understand, especially in this day and age. We come across so many people that lack good character. They will destroy people, they will speak anyhow, they will attack you, and they are not people of good character. And I've seen many people who's not of good character, when you let them get inside your head, they destroy you. That's why it's important not to allow people to live in your head for free if they're not adding value to your purpose, your journey, your assignment, and your transformation. You can be gifted and still be unreliable. You can be intelligent but still be undisciplined. You can be talented and still destroy opportunities through poor character. That's why building yourself isn't just about becoming successful. It's about becoming more dependable, more disciplined, more honest, more resilient, and more responsible. You got to ask yourself today, can people trust me? Can I keep my word? Can I control myself? Can I show up when I don't feel like showing up? You know, there's many days I get up and I tell myself, oh, if I can just sleep 5 more minutes, but my character is important. I've made a commitment. I am disciplined. Somebody asked me this morning, when I come down past here at 11 o'clock, I see you sitting in the boardroom. When I come at 4:30, passing by here just to check something, you sitting here. Do you ever sleep? I said, yes, I do sleep. But there's a time and place that I got to show up to deliver certain things. And if I have to be here at 4:30 in the morning, I've got to do it. Because my character is important and people are waiting for me. Can I finish what I started? Can I handle pressure without falling apart? Can I receive correction without becoming offended? That's one of the greatest challenges people have. They don't like to be corrected. They know everything because they are the person that's got all the knowledge. You need to be teachable, especially when it comes to having good character. I don't know everything, but I reach out to my spiritual parents. I reach out to other leaders to say, this is what I'm speaking about. What's your thoughts around it? After I preach a word, sometimes I go back and I say, is there anything I could have changed or could have seen differently? I go and I learn from these things. When people give me advice, I go pray about it, and if the Lord says yes, I implement, because I am also learning. Character is built in the moments nobody is seen. And it's easy to pretend, but when nobody is seen, what are you doing? Are you protecting your character and building the right character? When you choose discipline instead of convenience, When you tell the truth, even when lying would benefit you. When you keep going, even when nobody applauds you. When you do the right thing when nobody is watching. Those are the things you need to look at when you are building yourself. And that's what builds you. You got to build your skills. One of the greatest mistakes people make is expecting opportunities without developing themselves. How many of us pray for so many opportunities? But you know, when that opportunity comes, you're going to have no clue what to do. Absolutely no clue. And guess what happens? Fear steps in. Doubt steps in. Before you know it, you yourself has lost total confidence in yourself. That's why when the opportunity shows up, you don't just step in. Some of you walk the other way and say, Lord, I'm waiting for another opportunity to show up. Yet it showed up. But because we weren't developing ourselves, we missed the opportunity. You want the promotion? So what are you learning to give you to step into that promotion? You want the business? What are you studying? Are you studying business? Are you understanding business? You want to lead? Are you developing your leadership styles, your skills? You want to speak, but are you practicing? When you get a chance, do you go stand up and talk? Do you watch what people do? Are you going for training? You want to write. Are you writing a few things at the moment? Are you learning how money works when you want to become a better financial planner, or you want to become financially secure? You want to become a better in relationships. Are you learning how to communicate? Because sometimes if you don't communicate correctly, you can't build relationships. And that's so important for us to understand, because that can impact our character in a huge way. You cannot demand results from skills you refuse to develop. So how can you demand that? So in other words, you need to go ensure that you are learning the right things and you're aligning your skills for the opportunities that you're asking for. An electrician won't go and study motor mechanics to become an electrician. He will go and study electrical to become an electrician. They may not know everything at the beginning, but as they start studying, they start developing. Paul told Timothy, be diligent so that everyone may see your progress. Notice the word progress. That's what he said. He said progress. Because you don't have to become everything today. That's why it said progress. But you should become better than yesterday. Don't try and be better than last year. Just try and be better than yesterday. And you will see as you progress, things will start opening up for you. You start reading, you learn, you practice, you got to ask yourself questions, you got to get yourself a good mentor, somebody who you can trust and will encourage you. You got to study people who are already where you want to go, where they've already reached. You got to develop yourself. Because the person you become determines the level of life you sustain. Right? You got to ensure you develop yourself to a level that you can sustain. You got to build your discipline. Motivation is powerful, but motivation won't always be there. Some mornings you won't feel like getting up. Some days you won't feel inspired. Some days you will question whether it is worth it. How many of us do that? I see so many people say, do you think it's worth what I'm doing? I've been doing it for 1 year now. I'm tired. Is that something you really wanted to do? Were you motivated? Yes. Is it something you really want to do? Yes. So where is your discipline? Because you're looking at giving up. That is why you need something stronger than motivation. Discipline is stronger than motivation. Motivation says, I feel like doing it. Discipline says, I'm doing it because I am committed to it. You see, there's a difference. Discipline is requiring commitment from you. And what's important is when you have people you're accountable to, discipline becomes a lot easier. So you got to include people that can hold you accountable for where you want to go, that will uphold you, strengthen you, and make sure their discipline moves you forward. Anybody can work when they feel inspired, but builders work when they are tired. Builders work when nobody is watching. Builders work when progress is slow. Builders keep going when the excitement disappears. You got to be a builder today. You got to build your discipline. But brick by brick, day by day, life is being built. So what brick are you taking every single day? Are you building it one day at a time? Because your future is being built by what you repeatedly do today. So what are you keep on doing? Small disciplines become major results. You got to wake up, you got to read, you got to pray, you got to exercise, you got to learn, you got to save, you got to practice, you got to plan, you got to work, you got to repeat. You got to continue doing things disciplined. It doesn't look impressive in the beginning, but brick by brick, day by day, it is being built for you. You got to build your resilience. This is something that people struggle with, is resilience. Life is going to test you of what you are made of. No matter anybody can tell you things will be easy. Believe me, life is going to test you of what you are made of. When I stepped into this ministry, believe me, I thought it's going to be easy. I got tested for 18 months. And I tell people, this 18 months when I stepped into the ministry was the worst 18 months in all my years. I went to my lowest point and I never thought it can go lower. But it got extremely low being in the ministry. And I always question, is this worth it? Is carrying this assignment and this calling worth it? But if it wasn't me aligning with my spiritual parents and having people around me to speak into my life when I was saying, I want to give this up. And they said, hold on, it's going to get better. And as they said, hold on, it's going to get better, it got worse. I go back to them and I tell them, but you told me it's going to get better. Why are you lying? I don't want to do this anymore. And what happens? Somebody phones me for prayer. And I've got to shift my mind and say, I pray for a miracle over that person. And 2 seconds before that, I was in my worst space. But because I prayed for them, I got encouraged. And as people started connecting with me and I became more accountable and more disciplined, my resilience started to build. My resilience started to grow. You will experience disappointments. You will experience rejection. You will experience setbacks. You will make mistakes. People will misunderstand you. They will attack you. Some doors will close. Some plans won't work. Some people you trusted will disappoint you. And you'll wonder, why? I've been through all that. And today, it's not a surprise for me. All I know is I lean to Jesus. And through every circumstance, I say, I trust you because I walk in relationship with you. I'm doing your work, you do my work. And that's what keeps me going. But don't let a setback convince you to stop building. Setbacks are going to come, especially in this day and age. Nehemiah built while facing opposition. They mocked him, they threatened him, they tried to distract him. But Nehemiah said in Nehemiah 6 verse 3, I am carrying on a great project and cannot come down. He never lose focus of what he came to do. And that's what many of us do. We fail at resilience because we lose focus of what we need to do. So get up, be disciplined. There comes a time when you have to say, I cannot come down. I'm focused. I cannot come down to every argument. I cannot come down to every distraction. I cannot come down to every opinion. I cannot come down because somebody doesn't believe in me. As long as you believe in yourself and you have a vision and you know your assignment, don't come down. Stay focused. I've got something to build. That's what you need to focus on. Don't forget what you are there to do. Your life is here to build. Don't lose focus of that. Stop comparing your building process to somebody else's building process. It is important for us to understand that we don't run other people's races. We run our own. Don't compare your chapter 2 to somebody else's chapter 20 because you don't know what they went through to get to chapter 20. Focus on your chapter 2 and get to chapter 3. Do not try and focus on somebody else's chapter. You see their success, you don't see their sacrifices. You see their platform, but you don't see their preparation. You see their building, but you don't see the bricks. Focus on your own building. Social media can make you feel like everybody is ahead of you, but you got to remember, everybody's journey is different. Your assignment isn't become somebody else's one. Your assignment isn't to become the best version of somebody else. It is to become the best version of yourself. Galatians chapter 6 verse 4, it says, each one to test their own actions. Don't spend your life looking sideways. You got to look forward. You got to ask yourself, am I growing? Am I learning? Am I becoming wiser, stronger? Am I becoming more disciplined? Or am I becoming more useful and more effective? You got to ask yourself those questions. And it's important to ask yourself those questions. If the answer is no for any of them, you have an issue. Get a mentor. Get somebody that will put you on the right direction and hold you accountable. That's the competition that matters. It is not about somebody else's competition. It's, are you becoming wiser, stronger, disciplined, useful, and effective? And it's important for you to understand that. You got to build yourself before you build something bigger. So how can you build yourself if you are not bigger? You got to build something bigger in yourself. Before God gives you something bigger, He often develops you into someone bigger. And you got to get that today. Before God gives you something bigger, He often develops you into someone bigger. Sometimes the challenge you're going through, the problems you're going through is strengthening you. You don't see it, but you come out victorious. You look back and say, wow, did I come through that? Then the next obstacle hits you, you walk over it like it wasn't there. Why? Because you were built from the one previously. David had to become a warrior before he became a king. Joseph had to develop through the pit, prison, and palace before stepping into leadership. Moses had to spend years in the wilderness before leading Israel. The preparation wasn't wasted time. The preparation was building the person who could carry the assignment. So we all want our assignment. God, give me my purpose. Lord, let me go through my life and live a life of purpose and my assignment. But you're not ready for it. He's got to build you first. Who carries a strong assignment? Don't despise the building season. And it's important for us not to despise the building season. It's important for you to ensure what you have been built for and what you need to practice to be built and what drives you to be built to a bigger person. You got to take responsibility for your life. At some point, you have to stop blaming everybody else. I know so many people say, if only, but it's that person's fault. You know what happened when I was in class 2? Come on, you're 50 years old now. Forget about what happened when you're in class 2. But you know what this friend did to me when we were 17 years old. Come on, you're 42 now. Let go of that. You got to start taking accountability and responsibility and stop blaming somebody else. Maybe somebody hurt you. Maybe somebody rejected you. Maybe somebody didn't give you the opportunity you deserve. Maybe you didn't have the advantages others had. And maybe you made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. But you cannot spend the rest of your life building a case for why life isn't working. Stop building that case. Today, I encourage you, if you are one of those that are building a case for every reason why things are not working, stop it. Take responsibility and own it. Take responsibility for what you can control. Don't look at what was out of your control. You can't control what people think, how people respond, but you can control how you respond to them. It's important for you to understand that. You can't control your past, but you can control what you do next. You can't control every opportunity, but you can control what you can prepare for that opportunity. You can't control every circumstance, but you can control your attitude. It's important to control your attitude. Your future requires your participation. They don't need you to play a blame game. So today, take responsibility for your life. Build for your future. Don't just build for today. Build for tomorrow. Many people live for the day. I hear so many people say, I just live for the day. Tomorrow will take care of itself. But you're not building for the future. There is a future there. I'm not saying be scared of the future, but you got to build for the future. I'm already building for the next 5 years. What's going to happen, what we need to do, how we need to look at life, how life is going to be looking like. When you're learning, you are building for tomorrow. When you are saving, you're building for tomorrow. When you are developing your character, you're building for tomorrow. When you're strengthening your relationship, you're building for tomorrow. When you're developing your spiritual life, you are building for tomorrow and eternity. When you are becoming healthier, you are building for tomorrow. So every decision you make builds for tomorrow. It's important for you to build every single day, because every decision is either building your future or borrowing from it. I don't want you to borrow from it. I want to build for it. Because it's important to end up in a positive, not in a negative. You got to ask yourself, what am I building right now? Because 5 years from now, you're going to live the consequences of your today's decision. So if you're going to spend haphazardly with no strategy in place, you're going to know what's going to happen when it comes. I see so many people reach retirement age and they got no money. And it becomes tough. You cannot plant excuses and expect a harvest of excellence. You cannot plant laziness and expect a harvest of achievement. You cannot plant distraction and expect a harvest of focus. But if you plant discipline, you will plant wisdom, you'll plant consistency, faith, and hard work. Eventually, you will see the harvest. So be careful of what you build for the future, because it starts with a decision from today. What are you building today? What am I building in my mind? It's important to know that. What am I building in my character? What am I building in my skill? What am I building through my habits? And what am I building for my future? I want you to reflect on these 5 questions as you're going to take these 5 questions home, and I'm going to repeat them for you. What am I building in my mind? What am I building in my character? What am I building in my skills? What am I building through my habits? And what am I building for my future? Because eventually people will see what you've been building privately, because it'll be in the open. Your private discipline will produce public results. But the question is, are you building in these areas? In closing, let me finish with this. You don't need everybody to believe in you. You don't need everybody to understand you. You don't need everybody to celebrate you. You don't need everybody to support you. All you need is to keep building, and keep building yourself. When you are building, you need to keep these few things in your mind. Build even when you are rejected. Build even when the doors close. Build when you are tired. You got to keep building even when nobody notices. Because one day, the thing you were building in private will become visible to the public. How did you do it? When people ask, and you will say, I kept building. I was disciplined and I never gave up. There's a final declaration that I'd like to leave with you. When you are saying things like I say things every single day, and my declaration is, I'm under construction. I'm not finished. I am growing. I am learning. I'm becoming stronger. I will not allow my past to define my future. I will build my mind. I will build my career. I'll build my character. I will build my skills. I will build my discipline. And I will build my future. So brick by brick, day by day, step by step, I will build myself. And you need to declare that over your life, because what you say in your mouth, from your mouth, will determine the action you take. The story I want to leave you with today, as we're going to close, is about 2 men and the mountain. There were 2 men who lived in the same town. Both dreamt of reaching the top of a great mountain that stood outside the city. The first man would wake up, look at it every morning, and he would say to himself, one day I'm going to climb that mountain. He talked about it constantly. He watched the videos about climbing. He told everybody about his dream. But every morning he found a reason not to start. The weather isn't right. I need a better shoes. I'm too busy today. I'll start next week. Years passed. He was still standing at the bottom. A second man had the same dream. But instead of talking about the mountain, he started preparing himself. And I want you to understand that you need to start preparing yourself. He began walking every morning. Then he started running. He strengthened his legs. He learned how to read a map. He learned what equipment he needed. He studied the mountain. Some days he only walked a few kilometers. Some days he was exhausted. Some days he didn't feel like training, but he kept going. People laughed at him. You are taking this too seriously, he replied. I'm preparing for where I'm going. So are you preparing for where you're going today? Eventually the day came when both men stood at the bottom of the mountain. The first man looked up and said, the mountain is too difficult. The second man looked up at the mountain and said, I've been preparing for this one. And he started climbing. The mountain didn't suddenly become easier. the climber became stronger. That's why when you build yourself, that sometimes we are asking God remove the mountain, but we were built to climb the mountain. So don't ask God to remove the mountain. You are built to overcome the mountain. You don't always need a different situation. Sometimes you need a stronger you. You don't always need another opportunity. Sometimes you need the greater preparation to step into that opportunity. Sometimes you need greater capacity to walk to the door that's already open. And many of us miss those opportunities. So don't spend your life praying for a smaller mountain. Build yourself into a stronger climber. Because at the end of the day, you need to stop asking when the mountain will move and start asking how you need to grow to overcome the mountain. So then you got to build your mind, build your discipline, build your character, build your skill, build your faith, and build your capacity, because when the opportunity finally comes, you don't want to be asking, why me? You want to be able to say, I've been preparing for this. Today, as you're going to take this word back home and to your daily way of living, how are you going to upgrade yourself today? Are you going to be saying, I've been preparing for this moment? In Philippians 1 verse 6 it says, he who began a good work in you will carry it to completion. You are not finished. You are still being built. Now get to work, because you have been preparing. I trust that today's word has been a blessing to you, and you will take that back and you will upgrade yourself. And I always end with the saying, remember, life only transforms when you decide the transformation you need in your life. I trust that you will share this word with others as well. And remember, I know the God that I serve, but do you know the God that you serve?